You know the times where you look at something and you think you know what it means, but you really don't? Same. You know the times where you look at something and you think you know what it means, but you really don't? Same. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mason of Delphina. How are you doing today? I'm doing great. Today we're going to be talking about a story from way back when, from 2011, about the 3DS. Okay, now keep in mind that Nintendo 3DS has been out for almost 7 years. That's insane. It's had a really good life, but let's talk about the very beginning. The caveman ages, if you will. Whenever I first got my Nintendo 3DS, I didn't know what it was. I learned about it I think 2 months before it was actually out, and that's not like me anymore because I'm always on date with things. I always know what's coming up, what came out last month, and what came out 2 years ago on this day. I know my stuff when Nintendo releases. But the thing is, back then I did not. I did not know what E3 was. I did not know what the Nintendo 3DS was right up until launch, basically. I did not know anything about anything Nintendo until it was already out, up until about the time I started doing YouTube. I'm kind of a stupid child. I used to be, I'll put it that way. I'm 20 years old now, I'm a child in a man's body, whatever. But the thing is, I just have a lot of excitement within me whenever I'm hyped for things. I get jumpy, I get wild, and I move around a lot, you know what I mean? So let's talk about the time I was at GameStop. GameStop seems to have a pretty big impact on my life considering I'm always there. But I know the guys really well now, that's all irrelevant stuff though. What I will be telling you about is the time I camped out for a game I did not actually get. It all started one time in my living room. I was watching TV and I got on my laptop. My laptop was like an Asus or something back then that always got Windows viruses and stuff. It was a bad time. But whenever I was able to work around those, I managed to get myself to YouTube. I was watching some videos and then I saw this thing and it was like Mario. It said Super Mario trailer for 3DS. I was like, hold on, stop the clock. There's not a Mario for 3DS yet. What was this thing? I was like, what? It was a trailer for the game that would soon become known as Super Mario 3D Land for the Nintendo 3DS, which released November of that year. 3D Mario's getting me amped up. When I saw Odyssey, I about fell over. I watched that at E3. I know what E3 is now. I did not know what conference this was from, this trailer. It was mysterious to me and it was new and it was fresh. And I was sitting there, I wanted to know more. So I kept doing more research, and upon research, I found a Mario Kart trailer for 3DS. This was Mario Kart 7, which released December 4th of 2011. Now, there's 2 Mario games all of a sudden I had no clue existed right there in front of me, and I'm like, what? Like, excuse me, I need these because... hello. So I'm sitting there, it is like June or something, it was pretty relevant, close to E3 at that year. I'm sitting there wanting these games right now. So it said August 2nd of 2011 they were releasing. So I got super amped up, I got super hyped, and I'm like, okay, so this is what I need to do. I need to go camp out early, I need to go get excited, whatever, I need to go get myself ready, dress up in Mario clothes and all that stuff, and show up to GameStop on that day and get those games. So that did not happen. For the following 2 months, I was amped up, I was excited, I was ready to see what the heck was gonna be on my 3DS screen. I had my 3DS in Pilot Wings Resort playing that morning, waiting for the games at 4 a.m. Me and my mom went there, and my mom waited in the car while I camped out because at the time I was only 14. So I'm sitting there like, okay, let's see what I'm gonna get myself into. This is gonna be a great time, I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be an awesome time, you know. So I'm sitting outside in Ohio, it was rainy, it was a dreary day, and I was just waiting. I was waiting very patiently outside the bench by GameStop. It is like 5 a.m. at this point. I'm waiting, still waiting, blah blah blah. I passed time by playing Pilot Wings Resort, trying to get the points that I did not get beforehand. I'm trying to figure out what is going on. How do I get the plane to do the weird little loop-de-loop thing that I'm trying to get points for? I did not know how to play the game either. It was a bad time. But anyway, Mario, it was on my mind. I put it down, I closed my 3DS, and I'm just like waiting for like 2 hours. I sat there and waited from 7:30 to 9:30 that morning, okay? And at that time, the GameStop guys did not know who I was yet still. This was after the Mario Galaxy incident, so I was still kind of irrelevant to them. But I'm sitting there waiting, I'm on this bench, and they walk up to the door, like, oh, hi. You know, I'm like, hello, me and my introverted self at the time. And so I wait another extra half hour for them to open at 10 in the morning. I walk in and I'm like, hey, I need to get Super Mario 3D Land and Mario Kart 7. And so they do a little printout of the 3DS sheets because I didn't believe them when they said that the first time. They were like, that doesn't release right now. That's not today. Those games did not come out that day. That was the problem. I'm sitting here like, wait a second. So you're telling me I waited a month and a half. I waited a full month and a half of my life getting amped up every single day more and more and more for these games. when in reality, they didn't even come out on the day I was anticipating. And basically I paraphrased that to the GameStop guy. He was like, yeah. So I'm sitting here like mind blown because I know it's not their fault, it's my own fault. But I'm saying like, how could Nintendo say these days without even like, whatever. I saw them on like every website ever. It said August 2nd. It's August 2nd. I'm here waiting. Like, where's my game, man? So I went home all discouraged and sad at that point. I did some more research, only to learn that placeholder dates exist. You know, that's another thing. Placeholder dates are really a mind trickery thing because you don't know if it's real, you don't know if it's not, you don't know if it's confirmed unless you actually see a tweet or something from that company. It's just a bad time. I wish it would just say TBA, like to be announced or something. But me and my stupid 14-year-old self were like, oh, it comes out this day because that's the first date I saw was August 2nd. That didn't happen. I tried. I thought it would be a fun day. Thought I'd get my games and live happily ever after, but I had to wait another 3 months to be happy. So it was all good though. I ended up getting the games, obviously. They're down here on the shelf. It was a great time. They're both really good games if you don't have them. Every 3DS owner probably has both of those titles. But whenever I did pick up Super Mario 3D Land that following November, I did get this really cool Super Mario 3D Land keychain.
Isn't it precious?
And also on that day, I learned a valuable lesson. Wait for the official release date of a game to be released by the company. Don't trust websites. That's a bunch of baloney. And that was the time 14-year-old Mason sat outside for 5 hours waiting for GameStop to open in the rain, while really I was waiting for absolutely nothing. Placeholder dates are crazy, man. I don't know what else to say. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know if this has ever happened to you. Let me know if you ever got anticipated for a game and never released that day or whatever. Let me know what the deal is with your situation down below in the comments, and I will talk to you next time.